You know what the sad thing about pointing out all these players and doing a little bit of draft research on them is? Season's not even over yet. 2 days the Bears play the final game, and I do want to beat the Packers. I don't care about getting the 5th or 6th pick or whatever. The worst we can get is like 10th. So, yeah, I do want to beat the Packers. But, man, we're doing this too early. It's been that type of year. 4 wins. I can't believe we're at 4 wins. Anyways, this is a loaded running back class. Absolutely loaded. Love everything about this class. So the mock drafts you see of us taking Ashton Genty in the first round, the mock drafts you see of us taking anyone in the first or second round is, I don't think it'll happen. There's zero chance of that happening. Zero. And I mean that. 0% chance. We're not taking Ashton Genty. So if you've got that in your mock draft, if you got that, it's not happening. The reason being, this is an overloaded market for running backs. And there's quality guys that we can get in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th rounds. There's going to be some steals this year. It's going to be a good opportunity for the Bears to team someone up with DeAndre Swift. Now, I know we have Roschon Johnson, and he's a decent back. He plays well. I don't have anything against Roschon Johnson. But when you have the talent of this draft class, you go ahead and pick someone up with, there's the rumors of the Ian Cunningham signing with the Colts, that he could be their GM. I mean, if we fire Ryan Poles in 3 days, that kind of goes to naught because that means the whole staff will be fired. But if they hire away Ian Cunningham from us and we get 2 comp third rounders, that would be one this year, one next year, we could definitely pick up a running back with that pick. Or if we trade back and get a 4th rounder, we could get that pick. Or even with a 5th rounder, we can get that pick. And here's how our running back room looks right now. Now I've got the quarterbacks and running backs on the same screen. I just left it. But you've got DeAndre Swift, obviously, on his multi-year contract. He'll be around at least in 2025. If he doesn't perform well, we have the opportunity or availability to cut him in 2026 without too much dead cap. I really don't think DeAndre Swift is the issue, though. He doesn't run hard. We do need a more workhorse back. We need a downhill runner. I said that last year. In fact, I'll pull up the screen from last year of my recommendations. But Travis Homer is a free agent. I do like Travis Homer. I think he plays well. We could re-sign him on a value. That's not out of the question. But you also have Roschon Johnson. Ian Wheeler on injured reserve should be coming back this next year. Basically sat out a redshirt year type of thing where he's in Hallis Hall, but he was injured and couldn't play. But I don't think re-signing Travis Homer really fix all our problems. We could re-sign him, but we still need we need to sign a workhorse back or draft one. So here's last year's video. I ended up recommending Derrick Henry, 2 years, $14 million, or Tony Pollard, or Antonio Gibson even on some of them. I didn't think we can get Saquon Barkley, so I didn't recommend that too hard. I really didn't think that was realistic for the Bears. But this is where we stood last year. Didn't come to fruition. And then here was the draft last year, and I kind of highlighted a couple guys that I liked from it. He had Jonathan Brooks. Jalen Wright was someone I pointed out that I thought the Bears could go after, but I think that was a little too high, so I really wanted us to go in the 4th or 5th round for Audric Estime. Things kind of took a turn there when we took a punter. I don't think that was the worst thing in the world. I like Torrey Taylor, but Audric Estime I think was a great value for the position. I also did a lot of mocks with Ray Davis, Braylon Allen, even Kamari Vidal. And then some guys popped up that we didn't even have on our radar because that's how the running back position works. And Bucky Irving ended up being the best running back in this entire class. So Bucky Irving, Braylon Allen, Jalen Wright, Ray Davis, decent running back class. Nothing that was like, these guys are game-changing, best of the best. Bucky Irving, obviously, having a huge year. But nobody else really stood out as your lead workhorse back. But that kind of sums up how this next year will be, too. You've got maybe 1 or 2 or 3, maybe 4 guys that could be your workhorse every down back. Ashton Genty, Caleb Johnson, Marion Hampton. They could be your everyday, but then there's going to be a surprise in here. There's going to be another one like the Buccaneers got, and you could get maybe Scadaboo is that guy. Maybe R.J. Harvey's that guy. I don't think he's necessarily your everyday workhorse back. He can get a good breakaway. He has good vision. He can cut well. But Corey Kiner I really like. So there's a lot of them. So look at the depth of this draft, though. Let me move this out of the way. And, yeah, Cam Scadaboo got done dirty by ESPN. They did like a bobblehead type of graphic. So I used that for here from their bowl game. 143 rushing yards, 99 receiving yards, 1 passing touchdown. Anyways, that graphic made me laugh. So, in fact, let me move me over. Kind of like a bobblehead type of, I don't know. They did him dirty with that graphic. It's pretty funny. But there's a lot of depth. And if you look at this class, it's really going to be highlighted by those guys taken in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, and just how there's so freaking many of them. This class is just overloaded with talent at the running back position. I mean, you've got, look, this is, and again, take these rankings for what they're worth, because right now nobody knows where these rankings will end up. In fact, Cam Scadaboo's not going 153rd. He's going to jump way up after the hype he's been getting lately. He'll probably go somewhere in the Nick Singleton, Quinshon Judkins, Omarion Hampton range. He's going to go somewhere right in here. And no, I don't think the Bears should take Cam Scadaboo in the 2nd, 3rd round. Those who follow me on Twitter, those who follow me even on here, I've mentioned Scadaboo. I like Scadaboo a lot. He bounces off a lot of tackles. He breaks a lot of tackles. So I would love to see us get him. I just think he's going to jump too high. And really where the Bears need to be picking is somewhere below that orange line, somewhere right there in the end of the 3rd. If we get the comp pick, Dylan Sampson range, and he might even go higher than that. Honestly, he really probably will. But right there, Devin Neal, who probably won't test well at the combine. He's not going to be the best tester, but when you watch him on tape, he looks really good, and I like his game. I do like Devin Neal. DJ Giddens, Bayshul Tutton. I really like Bayshul Tutton, too. I think he's a great prospect. Cam Scadaboo, Woody Marks, Raheem Sanders, R.J. Harvey I like a lot. Damian Martinez will go way higher than this. He's going to gain some value too. I ranked these in order of rankings of where they stand right now, but a lot of places haven't updated their rankings, so these are going to be off. Jaquez Hunter as well. He's going to go up. Corey Kiner I think could be an absolute steal in the 6th, 7th round. So if the Bears don't end up picking their running back until maybe the Justin Fields pick that we get from Pittsburgh and we get Corey Kiner, I'm actually really good with that. Really, really good with that. So the two things I'm looking at right now, yards after contact is your biggest one, and then elusiveness. I think we need a little bit more of that with the Bears. We need a little bit more impact on those guys. So these yards after contact, obviously Ashton Genty is the standard for that. He's the main guy, but there's some good value in some other places too. Caleb Johnson, someone I've highlighted as well. Travion Henderson, Brashul Tutton. But then some of these guys down here, Corey Kiner, I really like his yards after contact. These guys that can take a hit, bounce off, or plow through and get the extra yards, I think the Bears need a little bit more of that. So one thing not to take out of consideration is we could go on the free agent market. This is a year where they'll probably get paid down a little bit. So guys might want to take a 1 or 2 year contract paying down. Some guys like Aaron Jones, James Conner, Nick Chubb are getting older. Nick Chubb really had such a disastrous year this year compared to his elite play that I can see him getting paid a lot less. I don't think I'd want to take that gamble on Nick Chubb, though, but for the right price, I probably would. Aaron Jones has already said he wants to finish his career with the Vikings, so I don't see that being a formidable option. But if you wanted to go after a Najee Harris or Javonte Williams has been pushed out of Denver, they're not going to re-sign him, so he's getting pushed out. Maybe we can get a value contract on a young running back, a 1-2 punch with DeAndre Swift. And then even still, if we wanted to pick up one of these guys in the 7th round because there's so much depth to come in and compete, there's options. I mean, there's options at the running back class. So the biggest thing from doing a dive into these, and I'm not going to highlight individual players right now. I'll get into that on later videos. Just want to show how deep this running back class is. So these are some of your top free agents. These are some of the guys that you're going to be looking at. And yards per attempt, yards after contact, James Conner. I don't think he's going anywhere either. I think he'll re-sign with the Cardinals, and they'll have to pay him a little bit more. Najee Harris will probably re-sign at his age as well. Javonte Williams is probably the only option if we're going to go, man, or Nick Chubb. You could on a 1-year yield cheap. I'm not predicting either of those. I think the real formidable option with the Bears salary cap, the needs we have, I think it really is going to be go after one of these, 5th, 6th, 7th rounders. One of these guys right down here. One of your Corey Kiners. Damian Martinez, if he stays that low, he won't. R.J. Harvey, I really like a lot. Raheem Sanders, so Kyle Monagai as well, not bad. I just don't love his yak. But there's options. That's the biggest thing from this class. So it'll be fun to dig into these a little bit more as we get closer to the draft. The Combine is a big place I like to make more formed opinions on the running backs after the Combine. But watching some of their tape, I mean, there's some really good guys to watch. Ashton Genty is obviously the dream, but it's just not the fit for the Bears this year with our needs. Ollie Gordon, Dylan Sampson, Devin Neal, DJ Giddens, Bayshul Tutton, Khalil Mullings even. Kemp, Scatterboo. I mean, there's so many good options. So let me know what you guys think. I don't think there's any shot we go after a running back in the top 3 rounds. Just no shot with the need we have on the trenches. But it's all going to come down to free agency and which coach we pick. So just a quick overview of the running backs, where we're headed, where we are now. I didn't really show the Bears stuff, but it's disappointing. I mean, there's no excitement right now with the current Bears. We need to fix the line first, get a better coach, and get another tag team duo in there with DeAndre Swift to be able to take some pressure off of him and to be able to get a yak monster, someone who hits the holes and bounces off guys. That's absolutely what the Bears need. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Till next time, Dub Bears and Bear down.